but when I tried to name the band, I drew a complete blank. Turns out, 1982 was the year of vanishing acts, artists who created cultural anthems we all knew, then disappeared as quickly as they arrived. From philosophical pop ballads to rock fantasies, these 10 forgotten hits tell us something fascinating about fame, music, and why some songs stick with us even when their creators don't. The Olympic anthem that raced to number 1. Picture this: young men in white running in slow motion across a beach, waves crashing beside them as that unforgettable piano melody builds. That scene from Chariots of Fire became part of our shared memory, but most people couldn't tell you who created the music behind it. Greek composer Vangelis, known mostly for electronic compositions, crafted this instrumental piece that somehow topped the Billboard charts in 1982. Pretty remarkable in an era when songs needed lyrics to become hits. The melody won an Academy Award and became the go-to soundtrack for every slow-motion parody you've seen for the past 40 years. The love song that got too personal. Before Carla Bonoff stepped into the spotlight with Personally, she was the songwriter behind Linda Ronstadt's Someone to Lay Down Beside Me and Lose Again, plus Bonnie Raitt's Home. In 1982, she decided to take center stage herself. Personally climbed to number 19 on the Billboard charts, with its catchy melody about romantic pursuit. The lyrics, "I'm gonna follow you wherever you go," had a playful take on behavior that seemed charming back then, but feels a bit uncomfortable now. Even though this hit positioned her for potential stardom, Bonoff's real strength remained behind the scenes. Her talent for crafting memorable songs for other artists continued long after her moment in the spotlight faded. While Carla was getting personal with listeners, another female vocalist was taking us on a philosophical journey. The philosophical ballad, That Time Forgot. Here's something wild. I've Never Been to Me was actually recorded back in 1976 and completely bombed. Then in 1982, a DJ in Florida randomly started playing it and everything changed. This dramatic ballad about a woman regretting choosing freedom over family suddenly shot to number 3 in America and topped charts around the world. The crazy part? Singer Charlene Duncan had totally quit the music business and was working in a candy shop in England when her song unexpectedly blew up. Talk about a phone call you never expect to get. The blue-eyed soul hit that sank. Greg Guidry had that classic Louisiana soul in his voice that made you think he'd be around for years. When Goin' Down hit number 17 on the Billboard charts in 1982, radio stations couldn't get enough of its perfect blend of rock and R&B that just captured that early 80s sound. Did you ever notice how the upbeat, catchy chorus masked what he was actually singing about? That was such an 80s move. Make people dance to songs about emotional struggles. Guidry knew how to craft a hit, having written songs for other artists like Climax Blues Band before stepping into the spotlight himself. The southern rock anthem that vanished. Down in Louisiana, a band called Laroo was cooking up something special in the late 70s. Their name came from the base ingredient in gumbo, perfectly capturing their musical recipe that mixed southern rock with funk, R&B, and Cajun spices. In 1982, they finally got their taste of national success when Nobody Said It Was Easy climbed to number 18 on the Billboard charts. The song had this instantly catchy chorus about pushing through life's challenges that just stuck with you after one listen. The new wave question that caused controversy. Back in the underground new wave scene of 1982, Josie Cotton released a song with a title that made radio stations nervous. Johnny Are You Queer? The provocative track reached number 38 on Billboard's Club Play chart, even though many stations refused to play it. Remember the 1983 movie Valley Girl with Nicolas Cage? The song appeared there, giving it cultural staying power way beyond what its limited chart success might suggest. It became part of that perfect time capsule of early 80s youth culture. What's interesting is how the song has changed meaning over the years. What was once considered shocking has been re-examined and embraced as everything from campy to empowering, depending on who you ask. The Hollywood romance that sailed away. Key Largo climbed to number 8 on the Billboard charts with its dreamy references to Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. We had it all, just like Bogey and Bacall, he sang, creating this perfect tropical escape through music. The song's mellow vibe made it perfect for soft rock radio stations where listeners could take a mini vacation between commercials. What's fascinating is that while Higgins never had another hit in America, he became a legitimate star in East Asia, especially the Philippines, where he still tours today. While Birdie was taking us to the movies, another duo was taking us straight to the arcade. The video game fever that consumed America. In 1982, you couldn't walk into any mall without hearing the beeps and bloops coming from the arcade. Kids lined up with quarters, while adults tried to pretend they weren't hooked too. This gaming obsession created the perfect environment for Buckner and Garcia's unlikely hit about our favorite yellow circle. Ours, Pac-Man Fever, reached number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 1.2 million copies. The duo didn't stop there. They created an entire album with songs about Donkey Kong and Frogger that sold over 1 million copies. What made the song special was how they incorporated actual samples from the Pac-Man arcade game. Pretty innovative for 1982. Kids would play the record while practicing their ghost avoidance strategies at home. The rock fantasy that vanished in reality. In 1982, Canadian rocker Aldo Nova did something pretty unusual for a new artist. He played almost every instrument on his hit song, Fantasy. This wasn't just any song, but a rock masterpiece with a guitar riff you couldn't forget. Fantasy reached number 23 on the Billboard charts, but the music video was what really grabbed attention. Remember Nova arriving in a helicopter and then blasting down doors with his guitar? That clip became a staple on the newly launched MTV, perfectly capturing all the excess of early 80s rock. While Nova never managed to get another hit on his own, his musical story didn't end there. He later wrote songs for Celine Dion and worked with Jon Bon Jovi, finding plenty of success behind the scenes. While Aldo was living a fantasy, Tommy Tutone was about to give us the most famous phone number in music history, the phone number that changed America. Did you know that simple digits in a pop song created chaos across America? In 1982, people everywhere were dialing 8675309, hoping to reach the mysterious Jenny from Tommy Tutone's hit song. The catchy power pop tune reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and created a nationwide nuisance in the process. Real people unlucky enough to have that phone number faced constant harassment. One Alabama resident, Lorene Burns, remembered, "When we'd first get calls at 2 or 3 in the morning, my husband would answer the phone. He can't hear too well. They'd ask for Jenny, and he'd say, 'Jimmy doesn't live here anymore.' Many had to change their numbers completely."
Hey, I've looked all my life. City nights, summer breeze make you feel alright. Johnny, are you queer? 'Cause when I see you to Georgia and California and anywhere I could run.
These 10 songs perfectly captured that moment in 1982 when everything was changing in music. New wave, rock, and pop weren't just styles anymore. They were mixing together as MTV and video games transformed how we experienced songs. Isn't it amazing how these artists created something lasting in their brief spotlight moments? Songs about arcade games, phone numbers, and slow motion runners still make us smile decades later. Maybe there's something special about one-hit wonders. They don't evolve or disappoint us later. They stay frozen in that perfect moment when we first heard them, preserved exactly as we remember them, forever connected to a specific time in our lives.